Good morning, everyone. Today is day 24 of our challenge. And so I'm actually coming from Houston. I'm here in Houston for Quilt Market. I'm staying at my friend Carrie's. This is her sewing room. And we had filmed all of these previously, but something happened with the recording. So I am doing this this morning of day 24. So today's challenge is flower. Okay. So when you're thinking about flowers and quilting, like this could be like we could write like whole books about flowers and quilting. Truly could. So one of the things I want you to think about when we're doing this challenge is thinking about like take yourself back to when you were a kid and you were at school and you had art lessons and we had art classes. And so this is, that typical, like this is what a house looks like, this is what the flower looks like. A lot of it was very much just this is how you did it. But I want you to think about when you started to learn how to draw a flower and what that looked like for you. And so a lot of times flowers look like tulips, like that. So that was a typical flower when you were a little girl or a boy, I guess. This was another one that was super typical, was the daisy. And I'm going to tell you, because I knew how to draw the daisy, that served me really well. When I started doing free motion quilting for others, I was like, oh my goodness, I know how to draw a flower and I think it looks really pretty on quilts. So I did a lot of the daisy on my quilts. So I'm just going to give you some general rules about doing the daisy, because this is what I say. I'm going to say it like 100 more times. When you're doing free motion quilting, one of the greatest things that you can do is you can do one design, do it really well, and before you move on to the next design. And the reason I recommend you do that is because when you do one design and you start mastering that design, you gain a lot of confidence. The reason you're gaining confidence is because you're learning how to do, you're learning all of these different rules in your brain and they're all coming together. And because you're having that success, you're feeling confidence. And when you're feeling confidence, that fuel is like leading you to learn other things. So the other thing that I really want to emphasize is using curiosity as your fuel. Okay. So we know how to draw this daisy. Okay. So now when we're drawing the daisy, I want you to think, well, what would happen if I do a double daisy? So I'm going to just come in here. I'm going to create my petals. And then maybe I'll do a double daisy. Maybe I'll repeat the smaller petals in there. What would happen maybe if I added some embellishments? I could add kind of some tips to that. How would that look? So I'm just going to give you just a few more guidelines when you're doing your daisy. So if you are more of a scientific minded or math minded person, having kind of an outline of what the daisy looks like is going to be really helpful. So you can do your 5-leaf daisy. You could do that should be in the center. So if you have it in this segmented this way, we're going to come in this way, we're going to come in that way, we're going to come in this way and there. So now I have my north, south, east, and west. And then if I want, I can add the dimensions in here like this. Okay, so that's one way. So do you see what's happening when I'm like, I wonder what it would look like if I had 8 petals. I wonder what it would look like if I made some smaller, some skinnier. I wonder if I add some embellishments. Like all of that curiosity, that's like you're creating whole different flowers. Okay, so one of the things to remember though, and when I'm looking at your doodles, which I'm so happy to look at your doodles, I love that you guys are doodling. I love that you're posting. I love that you're sharing. But remember, when we're doodling, we need to make sure that we keep the pen on the surface. We don't want to lift our pen. So in order to create this design, for example, this has to be accomplished by not lifting up your pen. So that is a challenge for you. Otherwise, you're not going to get that muscle memory that's going to serve you. All right. So I'm just leaving this very simple for flowers. And again, Remember back to when you were a child, remember when you first started to learn, and then like allow yourself, like even if you like relive that process of creation, of creating that flower and like what you were thinking and how you're feeling. So even in this short little video, I gave you a few different tips on how to create flowers. I cannot wait to see what you come up with. And the other challenge before I leave is how do you connect all of those? So I'm going to share with you one of my favorite ways to connect flowers. So I would simply just bring a loop, connect, come out, connect. That's it. We just loop them together. Okay, can't wait to see what you do. And I'll be back with day two of our very next day.